Hi, my name is Lauren Fritsch, and if you are here, it's because you probably know me, or someone I know sent out an email or posted something about the Joy Money Matrix. Welcome. I'm really glad you're here, and I made this video for a lot of reasons, but the biggest reason I made this video is that I believe that the time is right for us to do a different kind of promotion of our products and services. I believe that now is the time to do something different from what we've been taught for so many years. And so this video is my way of doing that. I learned from my friend Beth Grant, who you may know, and if not, I hope you will go look for her, that marketing can and should be light and joyful and in alignment with who we are. And so as I set out to promote this thing, the Joy Money Matrix, and the box that I created it to go with it, I wanted to tell you a little bit about that story. The Joy Money Matrix happened because I was driving around in the countryside outside of New York City, and I was in the midst of postpartum depression. I had been in business at least 10 years, and some years I had made a lot of money, and other years not so much. And I had recently taken a course called the 90-Day Year, which certainly helped me in my productivity. And I've bought over $100,000 worth of products and masterminds in the 10 years that I've been in business. And I always learn something from those experiences, no doubt. And yet I still felt like my priorities weren't right. Like I didn't have a rubric by which I could make decisions that combined head and heart. I didn't have a model, if you will, to take into account the things that were important to me. And I knew that the smartest people in my life, be they clients or mentors or colleagues or husbands, I knew that the smartest people in my life used something called mental models in order to make strategic, consistent decisions. And I thought, but how is someone like me? I'm so kind of like loosey-goosey, free-for-all. I like to be flexible. I'm an artist. Like, how can I make that fit into a mental model? Like, how does that even work? And so as I was driving, I thought, well, what are the things that are most important to me? And what do I need to think about as I'm making decisions for my life and for my business, for my family, for my creative practice? And what came up were these two very important things that sometimes feel at odds, especially if you've been a healer or a creative. Sometimes these things, joy and money, feel like they are mutually exclusive. Like I can have one or I can have the other, but how is it possible to have both at the same time in my work, in my life, in my creative practice? And so I thought, all right, I want joy. I crave joy. Again, I was in the middle of postpartum depression. I needed to prioritize joy. And then money is necessary. It is part of what lubricates our dreams. And money is what makes all of our dreams sustainable. It's really windy at times, so bear with me. I'm pretty casual on things like this, so if I have to, I'll deal with it if it gets knocked over by the wind, my tripod. In any case, joy and money became the two pieces that I knew would be important. And so I created a mental model for them. I posted it on Instagram, did a quick video. And later that evening, my friend, who I mentioned earlier, Beth Grant, sent me a message and said, oh my gosh, Lauren, I just spent 8 hours doing this. I applied the Joy Money Matrix to my business. It's amazing. And can I license it? And I thought, yes. Now, we're more than a year later, and now I have licensees who are using the Joy Money Matrix with their clients, including Beth. And I've seen the power of this mental model to transform not only my existence, really, but also other people's businesses and then their clients' businesses in turn. It's been pretty exciting, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So after Beth did that, I created my own in-depth Joy Money Matrix for myself. And the first thing that came up is my husband said, I didn't realize that ice skating was so important to you. Let's find a way for you to do that more frequently. And I said, hell yes. It's a little windy again. And then I realized that a lot of the things that I said were important to me and that gave me joy, a lot of those things I just wasn't doing. Specifically, things around my wellness, my meditation practice, and then my creative practice. And seeing it in stark black and white, or color really, on my matrix made me realize that my priorities were completely out of line. And I also realized that I could be making money from a lot of the things that brought me joy. And so I started painting. Again, after roughly 10, 15 years of not really picking up a paintbrush, I started painting. I sold a painting. It was fantastic and a wonderful way for the universe to acknowledge, hey, you're on the right track. This stuff isn't crazy. And my creative practice started really blossoming. I started writing much more regularly. I've got concepts I'm working on fleshing out further, but the most important thing is that I'm showing up to my creative practice. And that didn't happen for a decade until the Joy Money Matrix came into my life. That's big. That's really big for me. And I saw similar things happening for other people. I saw really creative flow happening when once it had been relegated to something deemed not as important. And so if that's the only legacy of the Joy Money Matrix, I'm fine with that, because we're here as creative beings, and that's amazing. And yet, there are other amazing things that happen as a result. Some people have had their biggest months ever in business and then keep having them, and they report back that working in that way is so joyful, so uplifting, so light, that it feels like it's less effort to get to that massively amazing result. And that's huge. That's really huge. I used to think that work had to be a slog, that we had to do a lot of work in order to achieve an elaborate or extravagant goal. And that's just simply not something I believe anymore. I believe that if we are prioritizing our joy and our money, then we can have max joy and max money at the same time. We don't have to give up one for the other. So yeah, the results are happening. The results speak for themselves. And it's been glorious to watch it unfold. It took me some time. As I mentioned, I was experiencing postpartum depression, and it took me some time to get from Beth's message, Lauren, I love it, I want to license it, to where we are today. And I will say a bit about that, but in a separate video. What I want you to take away from today, though, is that I want you to feel like participating with me in the Joy Money Matrix is a delightful invitation from someone you'd love to go to a party with. I want you to feel like the Joy Money Matrix is about possibility and what could be in your life with more joy, certainly with more revenue. I don't want to spend time digging around into the pain of where you might be right now, because I don't believe that we need to do that in order to get to a decision about whether you're going to buy my product or not. I want you to become a part of the Joy Money revolution because you vibe with what I'm talking about. And if you don't, that's cool. But this tool is something that A, it doesn't expire. It's not trendy. It's not something that's going to go out of style. B, it's reusable. Like, you get this and then you can use it forever. And then C, it has the capacity to change everything. And I can say that in full integrity. It is a tool that, if you let it, will change your life. And that can be scary. That can be really scary. Sometimes you don't want to see what shows up on our matrix. But again, my greatest wish is that you feel delighted to jump in. That you feel empowered and joyful about what could be if you finally had a tool that combined spirit with the physical, that unites head and heart, to give you something that can serve as a roadmap for how you show up for your business, for yourself, for your creativity, for your family, for your life. So, please join me.